has opened conversation with the United States government over allegations of state-backed Christian genocide. Well, we are hearing now that there is a government-to-government understanding rejecting the claim made by some lawmakers. On the 11th of September, a Republican senator from Texas, Senator Ted Cruz in the United States, introduced a bill in the U.S. Senate titled Nigeria Religious Freedom Accountability Act of 2025. The legislation seeks to restore Nigeria's status as a country of particular concern under the International Religious Freedom Act and to impose accountability measures on government officials. Let's hear from the officials of Nigerian government. I'm being joined by Mr. Daniel Bwala, a lawyer and a spokesperson to President Bwala, who is live for us here in our studio. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
How damaging is Senator Ted Cruz's position? He's not only saying it, he's moved it as a movement of law for an act of parliament in the United States.
First of all, Senator Ted Cruz is having a declining popularity in the U.S. Because of some of the extreme positions he has taken in favor of AIPAC, which the MAGA base are not happy with him. People like Tucker Carlson, Candy Owens, there are quite a number of them who are not comfortable. So in a bid to revive his ailing political career, he decided to choose people of like minds to do that. But let me not push far in that regard and focus on the germane issue of substance. Senator Ted Cruz published on his official Twitter page allegation against the government of Nigeria. And if you look at that, you will see he said there is a genocide, there is a killing of Christians in Nigeria, to which public officials are either complicit or they are participating in it. In other words, he's trying to say that there is a genocide and the genocide is perpetrated by Nigeria government. Now, genocide, if you look at the very concept and definition of genocide, you know that it has to be a state-orchestrated thing. Or even if it is non-state actors, it has to be established. The second thing is talk about the participation of the government of Nigeria. He knows it is false. But let me tell you where the story is coming from.
Or maybe he doesn't know.
Let me tell you. The reason is because almost all of them base that position that they said on this report. This report was written by Inter-Society Civil Liberty and Rule of Law. They call them International Society for Civil Liberties and Rule of Law. It is founded in Nigeria and it is somewhere in Onitsha. Most of the references they made were in this report. Now, if you look at this report, which was first published in August, and then they updated it last month, September, you will know that this is a pure case of agenda, and it has IPOB backing. This report can be seen on their website, Inter-Society Civil Liberties and Rule of Law. Now, they gave what they call to be a report of killings in Nigeria. They said they got their sources from multiple places. They also said they relied on their previous archive in reaching the conclusion. If you look at the entire report, 70% of the cases of killing that they are referring to happened in 2015, 2016, and I think 2018. The reference they made to the killings in 2025, they said the report, they got them from Sahara Reporters, they got it from one civil society, and they got it from what they call open source. Almost all of the things that they were published, they were based on hearsay. Now, if you're writing a report, the little I know about people who understand what research is, you have to go to the root of the source. You have to verify the point. Nowhere in this report has he established one fact, that this report stemmed from a research by their organization. Needless talking about the people who fund this particular organization. But do you know one intriguing thing about this report? He has analyzed every killings in Nigeria. There is one killing that he refused to acknowledge. And in fact, he even said that all of the killings of priests, the citizens of the southern eastern Nigeria, he said they were perpetuated by the Nigerian security forces, Nigerian crack team, and Nigerian intelligence officers in the pretext of fight against IPOB. Then in that report, he came to that very, very important point here, where he said, all of these have seen reckless whatever, and that the premise for which there is false labeling mass criminalization, class stigmatization, and here's a conclusion, is premised on two things. Number one, that since IPOB and its leaders are followers of Jewish or Judaism religion in the East, while clothing Christian religionists and their churches somewhere in the Southeast, that they classify this IPOB because they look like they are Jewish people, and that is why they are killing them in the Southeast. He said, nowhere, like I told you in this report, where he will say he admits of the fact that there is any killing in the Southeast and that the killing was perpetrated by the IPOB or Eastern Security Network. This is the only report the senator relied on. Meanwhile, there have been reports by Human Rights Watch, a report by Amnesty International, United States Institute of Peace, and all other allied reports on insecurity in Nigeria. Not a single one referenced any form of insecurity as religiously based killings in Nigeria.
So there is a concern, though, because where the fire is originating from, it does look like it's Nigerians who have instigated this, and there are those who say they have directly been impacted by the killings in Nigeria. Right. For example, July this year, some Nigerians, some of them who are from Benue State, they had a protest press conference in Washington, D.C.
Right.
And now we're even hearing that Marco Rubio is supporting this move. And they said that there is a genocidal attack in their land. Some of these people, and I would say after the Yewata attack, those who have risen up to say it does look like a coordinated attack against Christians, because most of the people that were attacked, churches were attacked, the people that were attacked, most of them are Christian. That it looks like a coordinated attack. Nigerians in the United States seem to have fueled or instigated it.
So there are three things you've mentioned here. Number one is the group that went and protested. Number two, the issue they presented to the congressmen. They are fabricated and half-truths. Yes to the fact that there have been killings. No to the fact that the killing is because they are Christians. You see, because anywhere a crime is committed, the tribe or religion that is predominant in that place will be the most casual. You will see the most casualty there. In the same way you see in Zamfara, in Sokoto, in Katsina, in Kebbi, where these bandits have come and killed people, abduct people, majority of them are Muslims. So when you go to Benue and Plateau State, where predominantly they are Christians, when these things happen, the most of the casualty will be what? The Christian people.
Could it be, sir?
But let me tell you this one. Recently, there have been arrests of individuals that were fomenting crisis in Benue. Guess what? They were flown in the public media. Some of them are Christians. So some of the places, the crisis there, they ask their governors will tell them, because governors receive intel report. It is not because they are Christians. Either it is based on land grabbing, cattle rustling, cattle this, whatever it is, that is the component. That's why United States Institute of Peace never mention religion. So when you go to the United States and you push religion, that you are being persecuted before you are Christian, to me, is a mischaracterization of the real issue.
What is the implication of Nigeria being designated as a country of particular concern?
Well, if a country is designated as a country of particular concern, what happened is that that country is likely to come under sanction. And the sanction can be either of these four. It can be on travel ban, it can be embargo on the sale of arms to you, it can also be trade-related embargo, where there is this tariff or whatever trade restriction. And it can be the fourth one, I think I can't remember. Either of these four can happen to you. Now, some of these Nigerians who are overzealous and are wanting this thing to come on Nigeria because either you are in the opposition or you are even a pastor, you feel that this thing should happen. If the embargo or ban is placed on Nigeria, maybe you've been going there to preach. Nigerians can't go to America. You know, recently, Donald Trump banned certain countries where people from those countries can't go there. So you have to know, if you are somebody that travels abroad for what, it can be religious, it can be trade, it can be business. If a sanction is placed on you, that is likely going to affect you.
But there are those who will say the Tinubu government has to do a lot of work because these things are being instigated by Nigerians.
So let me tell you why lately Nigerians have been crying for long about insecurity. They've been pushing this issue of religion, say, for a long time. But this, until an event happened at the United Nations, and 24 hours after that event, Bill Maher was the first to start talking, and he said that it's killing of Nigeria. If you're Western media, you are not talking about it. Shame on you. And I don't know why the Nigerian people are not in the street protesting. After he said that, 2 other podcasters said it, and then before you know, the senators, who are APAC-backed senators, and senators who have ailing political career, those ones continue to say it and ask people to retreat. Now, this is how you will know that it is agenda. When Nigerians were crying insecurity, what did they do? They didn't do anything. Until now, they feel the opportunity presents itself for them to pick that thing up in order to create problem for Nigeria. And you talked about Marco Rubio may buy into it. Because before now, when Marco Rubio was an ordinary senator, Marco Rubio was among the persons who were pushing for that kind of a thing. But we are committed in bringing out the falsehood. Yeah. We admit there is insecurity in Nigeria and we're fighting it. We have made significant progress since 2023 when the president came. None of the insecurity in Nigeria relates to religion. And we are making the progress that is required. Right.
Give me a moment, Mr. Bwala. We go on another break. But when we come back, it's a very concerning situation.
So what we are doing first is to do a pushback on that. I just came back from France where I granted an interview with the French television. We are going to be in all the Western media to state the facts as they are. You know, there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria, and we're fighting insecurity. Donald Trump has the highest confidence of Nigeria. In fact, Donald Trump, when he came in 2016, he committed to selling and started selling to us some of the ammunitions that the previous government didn't give us. He knows the importance of Nigeria and the strategic position that Nigeria plays in fighting against insecurity. All these things that these senators are doing, tending to push him to make official statement or take a position, will not work because this agenda is premised purely
but what are we doing locally? I mean, if the optics and the reputation is what is being damaged, what about the real action on the ground? Is this government really saving lives of Nigerians?
Yeah, oh, sure,
Are Nigerians safer today than their lives were before this government came into office?
Nigerians were superlatively safer today than they were because you know that before 2013 or 2023, there were prison breaks everywhere in Nigeria, even in Abuja here. You couldn't come, daylight, they will come and kidnap people. Before President Bwala Tinubu came on board. And then you saw those everyday killings in every part of this country. But after he became president, we have not had prison break. People are going about their businesses all across the country. We see skirmishes of insecurity every now and then, which is usual. If you look at the world crime record now, the crime that are committed on an average in a day in America is more than the ones committed in Nigeria. Right now, if you look at it. In England the other day, a Jewish community was attacked in Manchester. You would have thought they wouldn't have crisis. Yeah. In America, Charles Kirk was talking in the daylight. They killed him. So some of this insecurity you will see there, but in a whole, this government is making all of the progress required.
Daniel Bwala, President's spokesperson, thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Just before we go,